You do a job. That's your stamp in creation. It's permanent. It doesn't go away. Everything's going to be shown to you. Do it right. When you see the creation of the Creator, may His name be blessed, you see the ultimate talent, the ultimate wisdom, the ultimate beauty, the best of the best. You see that if you ever spend time, look at the heavens, look at the sky, how it changes colors throughout the day, and how the blue is something you cannot copy. The best painting in the world, the best computer program in the world can never copy that blue, that beauty. Doesn't matter how good it is, it's never that beautiful. Then you see the shapes of the clouds and how they change and they move, and they're so enormous and they look like they're close, but really they're really far. And just everything is so beautiful. And you see the Creator created such a beautiful creation. Then you look at your own body, how everything works. Or perhaps you recognize that it used to work because it's not working, or it's working too much, or it's underworking, whatever it is, but you recognize the beauty of the creation, and therefore recognize the beauty of the Creator. So the Chazal says, the amazing and intricate, detailed plan bears witness to the talent of the Creator, and man lacks the power to study it properly and give it its due praise. In so many words, the Chazal says, man will never, ever be able to discover the secret to life. You may be able to study different aspects of it, identify how many species live in a certain ocean, or at least guesstimate, estimate how many people live in a certain country, and what is their reproduction rate, estimate what diseases certain types of people are prone to, estimate all types of things. But the true secret to life, human beings simply do not possess the intellect to uncover it. Now, science can figure out how the seed works. We tell them, so where do babies come from? And I can tell you, well, it comes from when a male and a female, they are together, and the seed and the egg combine, and from there comes the baby. Now, they can tell you, I ask them, how come? Well, because the seed has this role, and the egg has this role, and that's what happens. So they can tell you in essence how it works. But they can't tell you why. Why does it work? Why does the seed work this time, but not last time? Why does the seed and the egg work this time, but not next time? How come? They can't give you that explanation. Why? It's parts of the secrets of life. We'll go further into that in a moment. He says this is the plan of the union of male and female in order to ensure the eternity of the world, including the wonders of the tools of each and the creation of the will that is essential to ensure this union. So accustomed are people to it that they fail to sense the greatness of its creator, who planned all of these mechanisms and established them in the world so that they will endure forever. Now, you'll be surprised to hear that in the Gemara, Masechet Shabbat, I believe it's page 152, Chachamim says, what is a woman? Just a sack that holds fecal matter and a mouth of blood, and everyone runs after her. So the feminists are like, this chauvinism. Here. Relax, take it easy. So we have to read commentary. Why the Chachamim are anti-women? No. What are they really trying to tell people? What are we trying to learn from it? Sonny's going to tell you this shiur in maybe a few weeks or so. When he gets to 152, he's going to tell you this shiur. I'm going to give you a preview of what Sonny's going to say. Over there, Chachamim are telling you, same thing about men, by the way. Same thing about men. What are they telling you? A human being is a sack of fecal matter and a mouthful of blood, and everyone chases after women, not after men. Nobody chases after men. Except if they're figalo. Why? It says, in reality, all of the things that we desire are not amaus. They're not really nice things. Like if somebody has an obsession with food, and you see him stumping his face, or you see her stumping her face, you got, chocolate on their face, or meat dripping, it's gross. It's not a nice thing. It's never a wonderful thing to see people eat. Never. Personally, I don't like it. I don't know why. Sometimes on on these shows or whatever, they show people eating. I don't know why people think this is a nice thing to see. It's not nice to see. It's not nice to see people eating. In reality, it's not a nice thing. Go eat, go in the corner. It's not. Gemara actually talks about it. That if somebody, they believe it's Masechet Brachot. If somebody died and he has to watch the body, and until they take him to the cemetery, but he gets hungry, what does he do? Says, let him make a separation between him and the body and eat. And if he doesn't have a separation, have him turn around. So I asked, how come it doesn't just say, go outside? Go outside and eat. What's the chidush? Gemara is telling you, it's better that you eat next to a dead body than go outside and eat standing up or outside where people can see you. Why? It's gross. It's much more gross over there. That's why many times Chachamim don't eat next to people. I know Rav Zev from New York, Tamid Chacham Atzum, knows the entire Shas by heart. You're never going to see him eat. Ever. Never going to see him eat. I think he's still living on man, which is very possible. But you're never going to see him eat. Why? In his own shul he doesn't eat. He has an event. In his own shul he doesn't eat. Unbelievable. What? Most. All the desires that we really have, they're not really pretty desires. Not pretty desires. And the one that's the ugliest is actually the intimacy between a man and a woman, when you really think about it. So how come we're attracted to each other? Or you guys are attracted to your wives and stuff? I'm not attracted to you. Well, how come? That's what the Gemara is trying to teach you. Naturally, we are supposed to, in essence, be repelled by each other. Gross. Why would I want to be with this woman? Why would I want to be with this man? What is he? He's just a sack of potatoes. What is he? What is this guy? Why do I want to be with him? Complains all day, pain here, pain there, bathroom. What? Everything that comes in goes out, stinky. What's going on? Smells good in, stinky out. What do I need this guy? It's gross. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle in creation. He says, because I need you to populate the world and bring more neshamot kedoshot into the world, I'm going to make something that's technically ugly your desire. That if it wasn't for that desire, you would simply repel each other. There would not be a single person populating the world. Nobody. No. Why? You'd be disgusted by each other. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, when you really think about this desire, it's gross. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle in creation and says, that is the secret. It's a desire I instilled in you. But it has to be used effectively. If you use this desire effectively, it's holy. But if you misuse it, it goes back to being gross. It goes back to being disgusting. So now, the Chachamim discuss this act in many different ways. The Ravad, in the Sefer Baalei HaNefesh, says that there are 3 different parts of the mitzvah of ona'ah, of the mating between a husband and a wife. 3 different parts. In essence, 3 different purposes. 1, the ultimate purpose, pu'ubu, have children. The goal is to be together with your wife, your husband, to bring more children to the world. Now, this is the ultimate purpose, and a person needs to know that this is a very big mitzvah, not only to bring a baby to the world, but even more importantly, to make sure that they raise this baby with Torah and mitzvot. But the key is to know that you want to bring this baby in a healthy way, in a holy way. And anyone that wants to know some more of the details, watch our shiur called Kosher Intimacy. And it goes into the halachot of this specific thing. It should be watched only by couples, not by single men. Surely every single man in the world that's watching this is going to go watch it now, but I still have to give you the disclosure. So first mitzvah, first stage of this, mitzvat ona'ah, which is what they call intimacy in Sfat HaKodesh, is the pu'ubu. But there is a second purpose. What's the purpose? Ona'ah. Actually giving the pleasure to the wife. It's a mitzvah from the Torah. It's what you're actually signing off on in your ketubah. When a man purchases his wife in his marriage, that's what it is. That's what the ketubah is. Ketubah is that it's a contract that you're buying the wife. This is the reason why what's hers is yours. So, halachically speaking, you should not have separate bank accounts, separate assets, unless this is already a second marriage or something like that. But in general, it's not lo raui. It's not normal to have what people have become accustomed to, where the wife has her own money, the husband has his own money, the wife has her own vacation house, the husband has his own vacation house, the wife has her lawyer, and then the husband has his lawyer. Eventually, they both meet on the divorce court. That's not a good way. Supposed to be together. So much so that if the wife wants to give tzedakah, she has to get permission from the husband, even if she's the one that's working, making the money. Why? Because he purchased her. But he has to fulfill his obligation. What's his obligation? His obligation is to keep her dressed where she has her clothes, whatever clothes she wants, within reason, obviously, not that she's some type of mall addict. As long as it's within reason, is to make sure that she has nice dresses, nice shoes, nice mitpachat, all the things that she need to look appropriate. She has to have a roof over her shoulders. He has to provide for her. Unless she agrees to be the one that works and he's studying Torah, he has to go work and he has to make sure that she has a nice house. She has a nice place to live. The best that he could afford. He's not allowed to be cheap when it comes to buying her presents, when it comes to getting her house. This is a sin. It's a sin to be cheap with your wife. And you see, everybody that's cheap with their wife has no bracha. They end up saving, and end up spending it all on medical bills, or lawyers, or taxes, or something that they don't want to spend it on. And last but not least, aside from the roof and the clothes, he has to fulfill her needs whenever she wants. She doesn't have to fulfill his needs, but he has to fulfill her needs whenever she wants. Meaning, if the wife tells him at 2 o'clock in the morning, honey, I want to be together, he has to do it. Let's do it. Now, this may sound strange to some men, because usually they're the ones that are chasing their wife. But in reality, it shouldn't be that way. If a man is a shomer abrit and shomer enaim, his neshama is going to be holy, his wife is going to chase him. But most importantly, to know that this is a mitzvah. And it's a mitzvah to make the wife happy. So, in essence, when that happens, it has a purpose. Which means that even if the wife cannot bear any children, a person does not have to worry about wasting seed. Why? Because in reality, you would think, wait, wasting seed, if I can't have baby because she's already pregnant, you can't get pregnant twice. If you're already pregnant, you can't get double pregnant. I wish you could, just get the whole thing over, 18 kids, one shot, finished, it's her body anyway. No, just kidding guys. No, it's one pregnancy at a time, one miracle at a time. But she can't get pregnant twice. On top of that, sometimes at a certain time of the month, she can't get pregnant. Another time, at a certain part of her life. After a certain time, Kadosh Baruch Hu decides, close the gates. You know, people are scared. Oh, I'm almost 40 years old. I can't. Who said? No, they said on TV, 40 years old, you can't have kids. Yeah, that study was done in the 1600s, 400 years ago. All women that start going crazy and just marry any Joe on the street just because they're approaching 40 years old or 41 years old because they think that their clock is running. No, your clock is decided by Kadosh Baruch Hu. It may have stopped already at 30. It may stop at 60. Stops whenever Kadosh Baruch Hu decides to stop. But if you're deciding your marriage is based on some Goyish study that was done 400 years ago, at least read up about it. So, a woman doesn't have to worry about things like that. She has to worry about Avodat Hashem. How she is with Hashem. Why would Hashem want to reproduce her? And if she's already at a time, she already had the kids, Bezat Hashem, and now the time has passed, Hashem has decided that's it. What about intimacy? Still a mitzvah to do it with the husband. Why? Because like I said, it's not only about Pu'ubu. Although Pu'ubu, bringing kids to the world, is the ultimate level, it's not the only purpose. The second purpose is also mitzvat onah. The Ravad says the third purpose is the lowest and the least among them. Is to keep the man away from sin, to keep the wife away from sin, keep each other from sin. Keep away from sin, either with other people, by themselves, whatever. But this is the lowest level. Anything less than that, and you're simply an animal. She put you in a zoo, right next to the lion, the zebra. You make good friends. Unfortunately, Rabotai, although it's a little funny, these three stages are not relevant to the vast majority of the world today. Bringing kids to the world, many times people tell their kids, you know, you were in an accident, we weren't expecting you. We weren't expecting you. Many times they have kids, they weren't expecting kids. And sometimes they regret it. And sometimes they commit murder by having abortions. Oh no, it's not a real baby. It's not out. Why is it not a real baby? Well, you can't see it. Well, it's because you can't see it doesn't exist. So, you know what? Put your finger inside that electric socket. No, there's electricity in it. You can't see it. Just put it in. You can't see electricity. You commit murder. You're a murderer. No, what do you mean? Why do you have to say it that way? Because it's murder. You have an abortion, and it's not for the sake of saving your life because you're in life danger, literal life danger, not theoretical life danger. Not, oh, I am not ready because I don't have money type of danger. Literally, you're going to die. Doctors say you're going to die if you have this baby, or even there's a chance you're going to die from this birth. There's no danger. You just don't feel like having a baby, or you think you can't afford it as if you could afford anything anyway, as if Hashem is not the one giving you the money anyway. And you have an abortion. It's 100% a murder. The only leniency that you're ever going to hear about is during the first 40 days. And even that is on very, very unique cases, and it has to be given from a very serious Rav that's beki, that's an expert in this issue and also knows you well. But that's, again, an exception, but it's not common. After 40 days, there's no exception. You go to the doctor tells you, listen, Shem Yishmol, it looks like on this diagram that your kid looks like a dragon. Here's a tail, like the Darwin books. You want to have an abortion? What's the answer? No. Not allowed. Doctor told us one time, listen, your baby's head, it looks like it's too big. You want to have an abortion? I said, let's chop off your head first. We'll see how that works out for you. We'll ask your mother what she thinks. And then we'll ask my baby if he wants to do it. No abortions. Oh, your baby maybe have autism. No abortion. That's why we go to the doctor. They tell us, you want to do all these tests? And no. I'm not doing the test. Why? Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference to have these tests. Why does it make a difference? I'm not going to kill the baby anyway. I'm not going to come in. I'm not a murderer. I'm not going to kill the baby. Why should I have the test? For what? What's the purpose? And unfortunately, many times, people don't know that it's the tests themselves that cause the problems. There is a test where they go into the spine of the baby, check for autism or other types of serious diseases, and the test itself causes it, actually. They don't do it intentionally, but that's what happens. Hence the reason why you should have emunah in Hashem, and no, Kadosh Baruch Hu runs the world. If you are supposed to have something, you're going to have something, there's no running away from it. I know a very special woman. She has 6 kids. 3 of them are special needs. And guess what? Happiest person in the world. Happiest mother. What does she do? She's a woman that delivers babies. She's a doctor. She knew. We don't kill babies. We don't kill babies. Why? It's a life. You know who kills babies? Nazis. Nazis kill babies. I told you there's stories from the Holocaust of what they did to babies. It's one famous story that in the Rav Oshri, Ephraim Oshri writes in his Sefer. A woman comes to the Rav in a ghetto. In a ghetto. Asks him different questions. Shortly later, she runs to one of the Nazis. Give me a knife! Give me a knife! She runs to one of the Nazis. Jewish woman asks her, give me a knife right now! One of the Nazis thinks maybe this woman's going to kill herself. She's tired of the starvation. So he gives her the knife just to see what happens. You see the woman, she takes the knife, she uncovers her shirt, she takes out a baby. She's a baby in her hand that she was covering. She gives it a brit milah in front of them. Why? I know you're going to kill the baby, but this baby's going to die a Jew. This baby's going to die a Jew. These Reshaim Arurim took the baby and killed it in the most vicious possible way. But guess what? That baby's in Gan Eden. Why? His mom was a tzadikah, understood what emunah and bitachon is all about. Who kills babies? Nazis kill babies. Remember I told you guys a few things about Mengele. Mengele, Yimach Shemo v'zichro, also known as Malach HaMavet, the angel of death. He's the Rasha that did all types of experiments on Jews. Lots of people don't know the other half of the story. Mengele wasn't killed in World War II. Mengele fled the country and went to Argentina. And a company by the name of Live Nation brought this to my attention. They're a company that fights abortion. And, not Live Nation, Live something. Or Live. Anyway, this company brought an article, I believe it was from the New York Times. Records were found that Mengele, Yimach Shemo v'zichro, had a second career in Argentina for many years, for decades. What was it? Abortionist. He was an expert abortionist. It wasn't enough to kill countless people with strange experiments during the Holocaust. He wanted to continue his killing. So what did he do? He was an abortionist. For decades. This time, legally killing. So anyone that's already killed a baby and didn't know everything I just said, didn't know that it's a sin, or didn't know the magnitude of the sin, and didn't know that they're actually committed murder, you have to do serious tshuva. First of all, obviously, commit to never doing it again. Second of all, say I'm sorry to Hashem with tears. Third of all, you have to make sure that you do whatever you can to help other people not make this sin. Whether it's by sharing this lecture right now, or other lectures that we've discussed it, or sponsoring different events that talk about it, or where you could bring us to your community, or another Rav that speaks about this topic in detail, to help the community wake up and realize that abortion is not a choice for Am Yisrael. In fact, even the Goyim are not supposed to do it. That's also one of the lessons that we learn from Parashat Noach. It's another pirush for someone that spills the blood of a man within a man. Some commentators say it's not just the seed, it's also the baby. Within a man, meaning within the wife, within the woman, that's a baby, that's an abortion. Abortions are not allowed for Goyim or for Jews. So, the point is that when a person understands that this act has a goal, it's not only for prubu, because there's a time in a person's life where they can't have a baby. They can't have a baby, like for the reasons that I mentioned, and there's many other reasons. Sometimes the male can't have a baby. His seed doesn't work, whatever it is. Third reason is to be saved from the sin. When a person does it just purely to have a good time, just purely to release, that's the degree of an animal. That's an animal. You have to do it for one of these mitzvot. You have to do it for one of these mitzvot. Even if that mitzvah is to please Hashem, protect me from sin, it's still a mitzvah. And you have to have this in mind. Why? We're not animals.